Bihar has witnessed a remarkable surge in the voter enthusiasm. The second and final phase of the Bihar Assembly elections have registered a historic vote. 67.14 till 5 p.m. and the latest that has come is 68.52. Now 68.52 is as per the Election Commission, which is the latest. And these are the polls which they are in front of you. Now, without wasting any more time, let me tell you that one, the voting percentage is high, so the debate is whether it's pro-incumbency or anti-incumbency. That's one. The second issue is if you look at the data, the JVC, People's Insight, and other polls, that are there, most of them are giving an edge to NDA. To discuss this, I am joined by Brijesh Pandey, our input editor. He joins me from our Panditji's corner. Smita Mishra, author and senior journalist. KV Prasad, senior journalist. And Ashwini Kumar also will be joining me. Do you think that, let's first of all take poll of poll full frames. Let's take poll of poll full frames. I think the numbers are getting slightly small so that everyone can have an idea. So in the full frame, it's JVC is 135, 150 NDA, People's Insight 133, 148, Metris 147, 167, Bhaskar newspaper 145, 160, and People's Pulse 133 to 159. And most of them have given Mahagathbandhan numbers which are not close, but they are respectable. Jan Swaraj Party is nowhere. Others, I think their numbers have shrunk. So on this, let me take opening comment from Smita. How do you see these numbers?
Yes, so you were saying that we won't know whether these good numbers, robust numbers of the voting percentage are pro-incumbency or anti-incumbency. The robust voting percentage is pro-democracy. It is an endorsement for the SIR too, because let me tell you, I met not one but dozens of such people. What had happened was they were registered in multiple locations, duplicate voting, and there were also a lot of people who were absent. The absent or untraced persons have been weeded out. Those in the voter rolls in multiple locations were actually voting in one place, but their name was in different places, most particularly married women. Most of these married women were registered in the constituency, the booth of their parents' house, as also, their address post-marriage. So that got weeded out. So it's looking like a very good voting number. But it's also a fact that there has been massive mobilization by the EC, also the political parties to bring their respective supporters to the booths. Looking at the exit polls, as always, I will like to, hold my thought till the actual results are out. But 2-3 things you can make out from this. One, nobody at least among the polls that have come so far, maybe there are more on the cards. So from these 4 or 5 polls, you can make out that nobody is saying that the MGB is winning. So which means it is an indication of the, the way things are going. Maybe I will be a little conservative with the numbers, say 167 or 160 that is being predicted for the NDA in the exit polls. Maybe I will keep it around 140, 135, 140, 145 even. So I may see the numbers slightly on the lower side. But the fact that NDA is winning, people were saying that it's not a landslide. Fair enough. But then please remember that this is it's 20 years. I mean, who gets a landslide after 20 years?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
The fact that they are winners throughout is itself an achievement.
Okay, Brijesh, very quickly, Brijesh.
Well, I would say that the kind of percentage that has come up and the number of people who have come out to cast their vote, which is the most historic till date, I would expect numbers to be far greater with one coalition than another. I don't see a close fight at all. I would be I would see if NDA is winning, NDA would be winning by a more handsome majority, and if Mahagathbandhan is winning, they will be winning with more handsome majority. Because the simple reason is that if with this kind of historic mandate which has been cast in one side and there is no apparent anti-incumbency as we have been talking from day one, then I think any side which wins will win with a historic mandate. I think a landslide is something which I would be expecting somewhere in the range of at least 150, 155.
Professor, why has the voting gone up? Now we have got the data. Why has the voting? What explains this surge in great enthusiasm and love to go out and vote suddenly in this poll? To put it simply.
I think the first thing is very clear that there is no vote chori in Bihar. I mean, like, the way they have reposed confidence and trust in the electoral mechanism and the system, which also indicates that how far this mobilization, what I call Didi mobilization, has effectively, incentivized, mobilized, and brought them out too. So that's very, very significant. Second, a combination, Kartikeya, of factors, I'm suggesting that, when women are pushed to the corner, and that is the way they respond to a patriarchal political culture. So what I'm suggesting also that this election is far more historic if you look at from a feminist agency point of view. Perhaps women of Bihar is also signaling to the other parts of the country, look, Bihar is changing drastically. Perhaps in that sense, this election is historic and landslide without looking at numbers of exit polls.
Mr. Prasad, your opening comments.
Well, I think the numbers do indicate that the voters had some very strong reason to go out and vote. Whatever was the commitment was.
There was a reason.
They had a reason. They
okay.
went out with the reason, and that will obviously demonstrate when they go out and the votes are counted. We'll get that data as we go along. So that's very clear. And of course, people talk about mobilization. Mobilization happened because all political parties are high stakes. The NDA had very high stakes. 20 years in power proved the incumbency factor. Mahagathbandhan, they were so close to getting the election right last time. They just lost. So they had a stake. And Tejasvi Yadav was being projected as a leader. Those two. Jan Suraj, we all been talking about, is out there. So he also would have got some of these guys come out and vote. Maybe the young, the youth. For whatever reason, I said everybody went out to vote with the reason. That's it. So that's it.
Professor, I think Prashant Kishore in one of his interviews said that either I'm making the government or I'm nowhere. So I think he got the assessment of his own performance right.
Yeah, I think, Prashant was very right, because see, I mean, like from my side as a political scientist, I think he deliberately chose to field, candidates in all 243 constituency. Given the background, American consulting background experience, he has managed elections, statistically brilliant, technocratically brilliant. And he knew that, in voting, system, if you spread, what we call a spatial spread, you are going to lose. If you look at the entry party history, I mean, like from economics, like Albert Hertz, in his famous thesis pointed out about, entry and exit. So this is going to be a paradox for Prashant, whether you enter or you exit, This election will show to him.
Okay, Professor, one question. I know it's slightly different, but I want all my panelists to come to it. Generally the Congress has been blaming that the Bharatiya Janata Party, they're somehow maneuvering the election or they're rigging the election. They're doing something, in context of managing it. But do you think that it's also because of the origins of these political party? For example, Bharatiya Janata Party did not have a big mass base, or Jansangh did not have a big mass base. So they focused on organization, to get everyone out. They had 20 voters per booth. So at least 19 had to vote. Congress was a people's movement, so it was a people's party. So they knew that 50 people will definitely come. So over a period of time, after so many years, the Congress lacks that organization, and that the people movement has faded away.